Cardinals put Kyler Murray on the IR, so he's out at least 4 more weeks. Okay. I said I thought something was up, and then all of a sudden, Jacoby Brissett wins. They have their coach go to the press conference, Jonathan Gannon. He's asked about who's the starting quarterback, and he says that his starting quarterback is Kyler Murray. Very quickly said that. And now all of a sudden, we find out that maybe that foot is not healthy. Then we find out Jacoby Brissett's going to start this next weekend. And then all of a sudden he gets put on the injured reserve list with a foot injury, and now he's going to be out for 4 more weeks. How close was he to playing? I know he wasn't suited up for the Dallas game. It just feels like there's something going on there. It just doesn't match up. That he's our quarterback to maybe not this week, to now he's going to be put on the injured reserve list. Like, what happened after the game? Kyler Murray didn't play, and Jonathan Gannon says, no, Kyler Murray's our starting quarterback. I understand you don't want to have a quarterback controversy, but you know what you did? You created a quarterback controversy here because Jacoby Brissett is going to start at least 4 more games. And do I think he's better for this team right now? I do. He knows how to play the position. But you're spending a lot of money on Kyler Murray, and you owe him a lot of money next year as well. But this is a situation where these teams, you go and give your quarterback his money early. They did that with Kyler. They did that with Tua. I understand it can be smart. You can have a Josh Allen situation, maybe Joe Burrow situation. Okay. But these are 2 quarterbacks that I had questions about from the beginning. And now you owe Tua $54 million. You're going to have a new coach, a new GM. You're not going to have Tyreek Hill. Is Tua going to be there next year? Does he have to be there next year? Feels like the answer is yes. Kyler Murray, is he going to be there next year? You're going to owe him $50 million. And he's not going to be starting for you? Are you going to move on from him? So these are those dilemmas you have when you start to pay somebody and you pay them a year early. And I know that it probably ruffles feathers with these players and their agent, but I would be saying, I want to see more. If I'm giving you $50 million, you have to, and it's just $50 million a year, I could be giving you $250 million. I reserve the right to be able to say to you, I want to see 1 more year. You may be bothered by that. I need to see 1 more year. Now, unless you say Josh Allen checks all the boxes, he is our franchise. He's a Hall of Famer. And you say that about Joe Burrow. I just don't want to rush. You don't need to rush. There's nothing wrong with saying 1 more year. Because I would have given Tua, I would have looked at franchising him, give him 1 more year. I would never have given him long-term contracts. I don't think he's a long-term quarterback. Just size, health, I wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. Kyler Murray, you have a clause in his contract that says no video games. You must study. I know a caddy who caddied for a famous player, and the player would never practice. But he would tell his caddy that he would be practicing. So the caddy put in a piece of paper into the driver, the cover that goes on the driver, and he would check whenever they went out to play in a tournament. He would lift up the cover on the driver, and the paper would fall out. So he knew that he wasn't practicing. So Kyler Murray, you got to put in a clause in his contract to say, hey, can you do less video, more studying? That's not somebody I want. Thank you, Steve. And I don't know how he is in the locker room. He doesn't strike me as a leader. If you play well, it's amazing how good your leadership is. But he's not playing well. And now the foot just got worse. And now he's out for 4 more games, 4 more weeks. Man, this is how coaches get fired. Or you can keep your job. But if I'm going into the Dolphins situation and I'm going to have to hire a coach, and then is that my quarterback? And are you sold on that? I wouldn't be. Yeah, Paulie.
I'm reading the timeline of all this on the Arizona Central newspaper. They cover, the Cardinals every day. 3 weeks ago, in Week 6, Kyler Murray was a game-time decision with his foot injury. Yeah. And while not playing, somehow it got worse. Jonathan Gannon, their head coach, talked about the decision to put him on the IR yesterday, and he said, quote, talking with him, talking to other people, obviously a collective decision here. Yeah. I wonder if putting people on IR is a discussion, and it was agreed upon by both parties. And they don't have to worry about him in a uniform when Jacoby Brissett's playing for the next 4 weeks.
The fact that he wasn't even in uniform against the Cowboys, but then he's our starting quarterback, and then he's not your starting quarterback, and now he's out for another month. I don't know. This just feels like Cardinals are going to have a different quarterback next year. But I'll ask J.J. Watt, how much power, input does a player have if he is going to go in the IR or doesn't want to go in the IR? Because it's automatic. It's 4 weeks. Yes, Eaton.
There's a timeline going around right now that you can see exactly where you are in the Kyler Murray story. It starts with Kyler's day-to-day. Kyler's questionable. Jacoby will start, but Kyler might play. Then Kyler's out, but still our starter. Then Jacoby's our starter, but Kyler will be back soon. Kyler's on the IR. That's where we are right now. Kyler's done for the season. Kyler is traded, and Jacoby is the Super Bowl MVP. I don't know who put that together. It was very funny.
Some of those things haven't happened yet.
Here is Jonathan Gannon, the Cardinals head coach.
Today, Kyler's going to go on IR. Feel like that's the best thing for him and for us. He's not fully healthy, ready to go yet, so that makes the most sense. Obviously, that's a change, but we just felt, looking at it right now, that's the best thing for him and us, like I just said. He's fully committed. Right now, what he's going to concentrate on is getting healthy. He's not healthy enough to play. He needs to get healthy so he can get back to playing football. So that's what we're doing.
Okay. I'm going to take the coach at his word, but it almost feels like we need you to stand in front of the media and come up with something here. Just, he's all in and we're committed and okay. Feels like there's something else going on here.